So recently I've been looking around the internet. I wanted to find some information about AMVETS and the impact it's had on the veteran community. The reason I wanted to do this is I was recently elected as the vice commander for my local post. I wanted to be able to share what our purpose and our mission is with the joining veterans as well as our post members in general. I wasn't able to find much information, especially in video format, so I'm making this real quick to be able to share with my membership and give them a bit of history as to what the organization that they're a member of is actually all about. So today we're going to take an in-depth journey through the history, the mission, and the modern impacts of AMVETS, one of America's most enduring veteran service organizations. Hi, I'm Rich Andy, and you don't know what I'm talking about, and neither do I. Today we're going to explore how AMVETS began during the final years of World War II, how it grew to a national, federally chartered organization, how it evolved to serve veterans of all eras, what AMVETS looks like today, and finally we're going to take a tiny dive into my little post right here in my hometown. The AMVETS story begins in the midst of World War II, even before the organization had a name. By August of 1943, wounded and medically discharged service members were returning home, and veterans naturally sought each other out. Well, two clubs formed early on in Washington, D.C. One at George Washington University, and the other was a government employees organization. By September 1944, similar clubs had sprung up in California, Florida, Louisiana, New York, Oklahoma, Rhode Island, Tennessee, and Texas. Then on Veterans Day, November 11th, 1944, Collier's magazine published an article titled 12 Million in Search of a Leader. It argued that veterans returning home needed a solid and single voice, a national organization, and this article helped galvanize the movement that we know today as AMVETS. In December of 1944, 18 members of 9 different veterans clubs met in Kansas City, Missouri. Between December 9th and 10th, they officially founded the American Veterans of World War II. Newspapers quickly shortened it to AMVETS, and the abbreviation stuck. During this time, AMVETS also adopted the white clover, its official flower, symbolizing remembrance and battlefields where Americans served. The founders set 6 core goals: full employment for veterans, advocacy for veterans' rights, influence on national policy, recognition of veterans' needs, preservation of wartime friendships, and upholding the ideals they fought so hard for. After World War II ended in 1945, AMVETS held its first national convention in Chicago, Illinois. In 1946, they petitioned Congress for a federal charter. On July 23, 1947, President Harry S. Truman signed Public Law 216, officially granting AMVETS its federal charter, the first World War II veterans organization to receive one. Congress praised AMVETS for being organized along sound lines and finding a worthy purpose. This charter cemented AMVETS as a national voice for veterans. As the battlefield evolved, so did AMVETS. In 1966, AMVETS requested Congress to expand membership to include Korean and Vietnam veterans. President Lyndon Johnson signed the amendment. Evolving yet again in 1984, President Ronald Reagan signed Public Bill 98-304, opening membership to all honorably discharged veterans, regardless of era. This transformed AMVETS into one of the most inclusive veteran organizations in the country. AMVETS has always been rooted in service. Over the decades, they built programs supporting veterans nationwide. This include VA claims assistance, free help filing disability claims, pensions, and appeals, employment and career centers, job placement, resume support, and transportation services. In 1945, the AMVETS National SADSACs formed the SADSACs Nursing Scholarship Fund. One other service that the AMVETS has is the Silver Helmet Awards. Often called the Veterans Oscars, recipients include Harry Truman, Dwight Eisenhower, Richard Nixon, Eleanor Roosevelt, Colin Powell, and even Lee Greenwood. Community support runs really deep with AMVETS. Locally, there are military honors, including color guards and honor guards during funerals and parades, Americanism education, teaching the youth about what it means to be an American. Rolling to Remember through the AMVETS Riders. There's youth programs and there's thrift stores that help fund veteran programs. Today, AMVETS is a volunteer-led, federally chartered nonprofit headquartered in Hyattsville, Maryland. It serves veterans worldwide, and we have approximately 25,000 members. Each August, representatives gather at the AMVETS National Convention to elect officers and shape policies. The modern AMVET organization focuses on preserving freedom, supporting America's defenders, serving communities, advocating in Washington, D.C., and providing direct support to veterans and their families. 80 years later, the mission remains the same: to serve those who served. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I was recently elected as the vice commander to my local post here in town. My buddy was elected as commander, and we needed some people to try to revitalize the post. The post has a lot of activities going on. They've got their quates and their pool and their shuffleboard. But what we were missing was the veteran support aspect. So we joined, and we're rebuilding it, and we want to make our post the cornerstone of our local community. We want to continue all the social events. The members have a lot of fun at that stuff. We've even got things like karaoke and trivia and bar bingo and all kinds of the normal stuff you see in a private club. What we've done recently, though, is we've gone back to service. We marched in this year's Memorial Day Parade. It wasn't a large contingency, but it was a representation after many years being absent. Earlier in the month, for Military Appreciation Month and in honor of Memorial Day coming up, we went to the local cemetery and replaced the flags and the grave markers right here in town. That one we did put a lot of notice out, and we had an excellent turnout. Recently, 3 of us veterans and our executive director, we went to a local nursing home and we visited with 23 of the 26 residents that are veterans in that establishment. And we got to hear their stories and provided with a little bit of, we gave them a snack where they were allowed to have, gave them a little American flag, a good handshake, and a thank you for going before us and serving so that we may serve at another time. So our post right here in Easton, Pennsylvania, Post 17, is going to return and serve as a safe, welcoming space for veterans of all eras, a true community anchor, and a true service organization. From its humble beginnings in 1943, its formal founding in 1944, its federal charter in 1947, to its modern role supporting veterans of every generation, AMVETS has spent more than 80 years serving America's defenders. And like Post 17 in Easton, Pennsylvania, we are going to carry that mission forward, one veteran, one family, and one community at a time. Thank you for watching along on my podcast today, folks. My name is Rich Andy, and you don't know what I'm talking about, and neither do I.